I thought we'd do this lovely, fun little picture, and I've got this very thin masking tape. So I've already masked off around the edges with some masking tape, got the cold pressed watercolor paper, which I'm going to use today, and I'm going to mask this picture into 3 sections. So just putting my tape down here. I've got my medium-sized brush and I've got the Malang watercolor paints today, which I'm going to use, and we're going to get started. Okay, using this lovely lush purple colour and just putting it randomly on the page, not worrying if the paint goes over the lines because you've taped them up, so it's not a problem at all, just slapping that paint down. Changing colour now, and I'm going for this lovely pink colour, sort of randomly putting that down in some of the negative spaces, but also over the purple paint. And the purple paint is still a little bit wet, so it's sort of mixing, granulating together. So let your paint dry, and I've got a filbert brush, an acrylic brush, paintbrush, and I've got this lovely goldy yellow kind of paint and a little tub there. I'm going to squeeze some paint in and we're going to make some shapes. So the filbert brush is making these lovely petal shapes because it's got that rounded edge to it, so it looks really, really nice. And I'm just adding 4 or 5 petals to these flowers and just splodging liberally the acrylic paint onto my page. So they really don't look like much at the moment, so don't worry if that's what you think about yours and you think, oh, it doesn't really look like a flower. It will in the end, so just get that paint down. Just mark making and not worrying too much about it. So I've got this lovely red acrylic paint and I've got another dish and I'm going to squeeze some into there, and then we're going to grab a stencil and a sponge. So this stencil has got like little roses on there, and I'm just singling out a little rose and sponging through with that acrylic paint, moving it, positioning it onto the next page. The gold paint underneath is dry, by the way. Yeah, because I had to wait for that so that it wouldn't go and start smudging and squeegeing as I put down that stencil. So continuing putting this other rose down there, I think they look really pretty. And then I got some of the paint left, so I didn't want to waste it. So I'm just adding some little stems and then adding some additional background colour. Sort of just smudging that paint. I've added a little bit of water to it just to make it a little bit more watery, so it fits in with the watercolour background there and doesn't look as vibrant as the roses, and smudging it in around that background. That pinky red's dry, and I've got some green acrylic paint again, another container, squeezed it in, and I'm just going to do some stems from those flowers, so just bringing them down and adding some leaf shapes by utilising the shape of my paintbrush, adding them wherever I feel and not worrying too much about it. Adding some bigger leaves behind that rose there, and I think that really sets it off. And continuing on the second picture to add some random stems and leaves on that picture too. So again, let the green dry, and once it's dry, grab some white paint and another brush and another container, and I'm just going to add some little flower shapes here, utilising the brush, just using that shape of that brush just to make these flowers. And then, because I'd still got some white paint left, I'm just going to dab some little round dots wherever I feel, over the green, over some of the flowers, wherever I feel is best. Just utilising that paint, I don't want to waste it, and I really like the look of little round dots on my page. You may want to continue with the flower theme, and that's fine. Just do whatever you think, whether it's dots, flowers, whatever shapes you want to put down. You can't go wrong. There is nothing wrong in art. It just comes out of you. It's the way you feel, and it's what makes you feel good. So continuing with the white, I've now got a white Posca pen, so an acrylic paint pen, and adding some finer dots, just going up the page there. And now I've moved on to another acrylic paint pen, this yellowy kind of colour, and I'm outlining those flowers now. So I'm just giving them some definition. Before they just looked a bit splodgy, but now they're starting to look a bit more flower-like. I think the acrylic paint pens really help define the edges of these flowers. So it really makes it pop. Really can now see them coming alive. So it makes a really big difference. That's why mixed media is so great. If you're not particularly good at doing, edges to something, you can always use a pen to tidy up those edges and make things look a little bit different than just having the paint. So now I've got a pink paint pen and I'm just adding those details. The stamens, the little dots that you see inside the flowers just make a real difference, just making that flower pop out of the page. I've got a darker rose colour and outlining the rose shape there just to make that pop. So as you can see, this is so easy to do. You've just got to layer up, take it slow, not worry too much about what you've put down, because you can always tidy it up with an acrylic paint pen or pretty it up with little dots or little embellishments. So I hope you get to try this, and if you like this, maybe you'll consider liking and subscribing, and maybe you'll leave me a comment. I'd love to hear how you get on with this, whether you enjoy doing it, is it your kind of thing, or would you like to see something different? Let me know in the comments. So continuing with the green paint pen there and just putting some little stems in just for a little bit of detail and dragging that pen down, trying to get it work. It's a little bit difficult sometimes. I have to keep pumping them to get that paint to come out. But eventually it does work. So just continuing and filling up those spaces. And then I've moved back to the purple pen and I'm just adding some little dots there for the inside of the flowers. And I think that's really cute. Just a little bit of dusting here and there just to embellish them and make them more real-like. And then doing the same with a white Posca pen, adding some little internal bits there. Going back to the green, and I just want to add some little fake stems there, just coming down the page, and I think that looks rather cute there. So just continuing wherever I can see there's a little bit of space. I always feel that I've got to fill it with something, so I do. And I've heated up the tape and I'm putting it away, and you can see it here, it looking really nice. Just being very careful not to rip the page, because many a time I've ripped the page when I'm doing this, and that's really quite upsetting. And I'm going to pull it up to the camera so you can see the detail here, and I think it's turned out rather well. I really enjoyed doing that, and I love the results. I love the colours, and I think it offers some real depth. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Hope you're having a great day. Okay then, thank you. Bye. See you soon.